Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos United, aka Oakland Latinos Unidos, on here with a new video for you guys to enjoy with Live with Jay number 60. Hopefully, you guys are tapping in. We're going to talk about some different subjects today. We're going to partly talk about what's going on out in Ukraine, talk about a few other issues, and talk a little bit about the U.S.'s history of invading places as well, because I feel that's important for people to know. You know what I mean? That, we're trying to make like it's Russia doing this, but we've done just as much horrible things. Our country, our government has done just as many horrible invasions and killed many people, no different than what Putin is doing in Ukraine. So it's important to talk about, and just want to give my 2 cents and what I hope will happen or what won't happen. So hopefully you guys are tuning in, and everybody press that like button if you are joining in, and we'll have a cool little discussion about it. I'm not just going to talk about that issue. I'm going to talk about other things too, but I feel that I want to put in my 2 cents about it, because it's bad enough it's already uh, uh, for what's going on as a collective. It's important to talk about what's going on, and people could have an understanding, and people could have my take on it, because I haven't made any videos about it late yet. I was a little busy, that's why I haven't done no lives. I was kind of busy, and I just kind of took a little break from YouTube for a couple of days, but I'm back on, and we're gonna talk about what we have to talk about, and see what's up, see what you guys think about it. Barely got here. What's the topic tonight? Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about Ukraine, about what's going on over there, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of what the United States has done in the past, and then we'll change it subject, because I'm tired of fucking hearing about this subject, so it's kind of annoying me already. But I feel free. We should talk about it. But apparently, Vladimir Putin in Russia has invaded Ukraine, a country in Eastern Europe, and you know it's a country that has a long history. I think it was a part of Russia during the Soviet Union era. You know what I mean? And it became independent, I think, in the 90s, after the breakup of the Soviet Union. And for those of you who don't know, or maybe are too young to remember, the Soviet Union used to be kind of like the Russian Empire a long time ago. It was a communist or socialist Russian empire, and it was ruled. I think the Soviet Union existed from the 1930s all the way to 1991 or two, and it broke off, and then Russia became Russia, and and you know basically after the breakup of the Soviet Union, a lot of countries that were under the Soviet Union, like Ukraine, Latvia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and various countries became independent countries. And Russia became an independent country in itself. It wasn't part of the Soviet Union. I think the first president after the Soviet Union was a guy named Boris Yeltsin, who had a lot of. He did a lot of like a lot of treaties and stuff with Clinton and all them at the time. You know what I mean? Now NATO, which is the what is it, the North Atlantic Trade Organization, I believe that's what it's called. Has it was originally started during the Cold War. And those of you who don't know the Cold War, it was like an unkind of declared war between the Soviet Union or Russia and the United States and the Western Allies, meaning the Western part of Europe. And you got to remember, a big chunk of Europe was part of the Soviets, uh, was part of the Soviet Union, or at least was communist countries. And for many years, these two places, the West versus the East, was the big thing. Luckily, there was never a nuclear war or nothing like that. I mean, there was almost going to be a nuclear war in the 1960s. It was called the Cuban Missile Crisis, when the Soviet Union was found to I think they put nuclear weapons in Cuba, or were trying to, and it escalated into a standoff between the U.S. and Russia, and that was probably one of the few times that the threat of a nuclear war happened, and with diplomacy, it was taken care of, and you know, nothing happened. Group again, as far as we're concerned, stop fancy vocabulary. Well, NATO, we'll talk about NATO, and NATO is part of the problem. So now, now that there's no Soviet Union, now that there's no, really for many years, there wasn't really a big threat from Russia that I know of. NATO continued. NATO didn't dissolve. The USSR dissolved, the Soviets, but NATO did it. And NATO basically has kept on pushing into Eastern Europe. And from what I know, Vladimir Putin, who's been, I don't know if he's the dictator or the president of Russia. I'm not too familiar with his, with him. Basically, his stance is he didn't want NATO. He didn't want NATO on the borders of Russia, basically, But and he told he told the U.S. that if NATO, if Ukraine joins NATO, well, he was afraid that Ukraine will try to join NATO, which is one of the reasons he claims that he invaded. Now, now that the invasion has happened, now that all this has been going on, what's going to happen? Is this going to be a World War III? Is there going to be a nuclear holocaust in the world, which is something we don't want to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, this goes beyond, this goes beyond just the invasion of Ukraine. I think a lot of it has to do because of energy, power, not nation building, but empire building on both sides, especially on the side of NATO and the U.S. And, the U.S. has provoked a lot of this because, we have supported Ukraine since, I think, Obama. I think there was some kind of coup or something like that in Ukraine. And, and Putin had warned the U.S. to not get involved in Ukraine, and look what's happening now. Now, we've been down this road before. It's not a first time. It's only scary because it's happening in our time. But it has happened before, like I said, with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Is there going to be a nuclear war? I don't know. You know what I mean? I hope not, because that wouldn't benefit none of us. It wouldn't. It'd probably kill all of us. And even if we did survive a nuclear blast, there's no chance there's no saying if we're going to survive the after effects of nuclear fallout, But, what's that going to do to the world? Is it going to destroy the world? I mean, I don't think every single place in the world is going to be bombed by a nuclear bomb if something like that would happen. But, it would be detrimental. And I've always said, nuclear weapons are more of a deterrent from someone invading or fucking with them. So Russia knows that it's not, Iraq or Iran, a country or Afghanistan, a country that we can just go in and invade. You know what I mean? And because he has a nuclear deterrent. So a long time ago, I heard a military person say, when it comes to nuclear weapons, you got to fight a different kind of war. All bets are off of a conventional war because that's a risk. Now, my thing about nuclear weapons, I think they're just a deterrent. I don't think no one's crazy enough to use them. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm right. You know what I mean? But I don't think no one's ever going to want to use them because no one would benefit from using them. Putin wouldn't benefit from using them. Biden wouldn't benefit from using them. NATO wouldn't benefit from using them. Because even though many of the leaders and the rich people probably have bunkers they could go hide in while the rest of us get vaporized, basically, what are they going to inherit? They're going to inherit a toxic cloud world that, you know what I mean? There's nothing going to be there for them. They're not going to have nothing to control. They're going to have a dying world, you know what I mean? That's destroyed. And would they really want that? Would even Putin, as crazy as people say he is, would he really want that? Would the U.S. really want that? I don't think so. You know what I mean? And I think if someone was gonna use a nuclear weapon, they would have did it a long time ago. I mean, they could have did it during the 80s. The only thing that's a little scary about it, I would say, is because right now, I bet you, you know what I mean? I bet you because all the countries uh, are on nuclear alert. I'm pretty sure the U.S. has heightened its nuclear alert, and so has Russia. There could be a mistake done on either side, and a missile could be fired on accident. You know, and I think that would be probably the more scary thing. But is it going to happen? I fucking hope not, because we won't be here. You know what I mean? And the world after that would be a totally different world. You know what I mean? You know, and the U.S., you know, someone brought up a good point. The U.S., we are the only country that has ever used a nuclear bomb. We should use 2 atomic bombs during World War II to end World War II. We bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we learned from that. We learned that was disastrous and that it was toxic, and that we learned about nuclear fallout and all that stuff. So there's a reason why, you know what I mean, nuclear weapons haven't been used. I mean, the only thing that's really going to fix this at the end of the day is not sanctions or wars or fighting. It's just it's going to be diplomacy. I mean, that's really what's going to have to happen. Talks between somebody, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be the U.S., whether it be NATO, whether it be Russia, China, or other countries. You know what I mean? That's what's going to really end it, because fighting and fighting and fighting, you know, it's not going to go nowhere. Someone said Japan hit because of sanctions, just like Russia getting now. I'm not sure. I got to look into that. But yeah, the sanctions in Russia too. Russia could take that as a declaration of war, you know, and it will happen. Nuclear fallout is an ancient talk, but it has happened before, and it will happen again. I hope not. But you know, sadly, we didn't. Big Worm said playing with his emotions. I feel you. But yeah, the sanctions, that could be an escalation of war too with Russia, and that's not good. You know, and I just hope somebody, some politician, you know what I mean, gets it in their head that this can go somewhere really bad quickly if it's not fixed. And you know, furthermore, I don't understand why the fuck do we care so much about fucking Ukraine? You know, it's like, why are we trying to fucking start a potential third world war, or at least just a really dangerous a new Cold War, you know, over some fucking place that has nothing to do with us? You know, I'd be pretty fucked up if we got nuked for some shit that has nothing to do with us, for some country that has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? That's the part that disappoints me. Like, I don't know nothing about Ukraine. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, you know? And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna escalate to something nuclear. I hope not. You know, because for my sake and your sake, that wouldn't be good. Having straight head on their shoulders. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We're lining up to trade their money for dollar because the currency was crashing. Yeah, man. Yeah, and even the sanctions thing, eventually something's gonna have to be done to push that back, because because that might cause a war. That might cause something more serious. Even if there isn't a nuclear war or some World War III scenario, when this is all said and done, there is probably going to be some kind of new Cold War or something of that matter, and it's retarded because it's just history repeating itself. I always say it all the time. Unfortunately, humans, especially like people of color, I've said this before, I make this analogy. We always like whatever is bad for us, and I don't understand. That's the only thing about humans I don't understand. Is why do we put ourselves in situations where we could destroy ourselves? That's the thing I don't get about humanity sometimes. That's the big mystery. You know what I mean? Now, yeah, Iron Curtain 2.0, it could be. You know what I mean? It could be. It could be. You know, I mean, me personally, I'm optimistic that no nuclear type situation is going to happen. I hope not, because I'll be dead and you'll be dead. Put it like that. Think about that. Your families will be dead. Generations of your family will die. You know what I mean? You won't have nothing. Even if you survived, you probably won't have very many relatives left. You know what I mean? World War IV would be brought on still. Yeah, if there was if there was a nuclear type event, who's to say how many places will get bombed? I don't think everywhere in the world will get bombed. You know what I mean? But definitely the United States, Canada, Europe, a lot of places in Europe. I don't know if all of Europe, but at least some of the places, and Russia would be bombed to shit. You know, the only places that probably will survive, I would say, will probably be Central, South America, maybe Africa, because I wouldn't see those places getting bombed. I wouldn't see why they would get bombed. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. You know. But yeah, I think I think Albert Einstein, he was one of the ones that created the nuclear bomb or helped create it, and he regretted it later because he's seen the detrimental effects that it could do. But unfortunately, it was already said and done by the time he created it. You know, but yeah, the nuclear bomb is one of the most detrimental weapons humanity could have ever created. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, I heard something about that, but I haven't looked into it too much. They were saying that blacks, like black immigrants in Ukraine, and were not being let into trains to leave the country, and you know, um, there was a lot of racism against black or black immigrants or black people that are living in Ukraine. I know there's also black people in Russia. A lot of students go out there to study at the universities out there, and you know, that's fucked up, and that is true. That's straight up, that's racism. That's fucked up. You know, natural world cruel than humans. I've come to realize. The thing about all this, man, it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, is our leaders and our media trying to terrorize us, man? Because like this since 2020, nothing's been right, man. Nothing's been fucking right. You know, it's like we got COVID, we got fucking some kind of World War III type scenario now. What next? Are we gonna get invaded by fucking aliens? Are we gonna get hit by an asteroid? Is the world gonna just blow up? I mean, what the fuck, man? It's crazy. But the United States, we're we're complicit in a lot of this stuff, man. We're complicit in a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff has been happening because of the shit we've done in the past. We've invaded countries for no reason. We invaded Iraq over a lie. You know what I mean? Literally over a lie. You know, claiming they had weapons of mass destruction, even though there was no such thing. We invaded Iraq um, to supposedly overthrow whatchamacallit, Bin Laden. Even after we got him, we stayed there for a long time. All these fucking wars, and now we're at war with fucking, you know, supposedly we're on the brink of a possible war with Russia, which is not good because Russia's not Iraq. Russia does have weapons of mass destruction, and they could potentially use them. You know, and but they could turn Iraq into a nice Western country. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's a sad situation. It's a crazy situation, and I just hope nothing crazy happens that we're not going to be here anymore. Because you're not going to be here either, you know? Put it like that. Most of your family won't be here no more either. Most of your kids, your grandkids, your parents, they'll be vaporized within minutes. That's something fucking scary to think about. That's something to really fucking reflect on, you know? Will it happen? I doubt it. Could it happen? It could. Do I want it to happen? Fuck no. Hell no. You know, and anyone who does, fuck, is a sick individual. You know, but our politicians, uh, you know, our politicians are fucking foreign policies, and all that stuff is what put us here. You know, that's what put us here. And I can only hope that that better heads will prevail and prevent something like that from happening, which I doubt will happen because it really is not going to benefit anybody. But you know, I doubt it. I doubt it's going to go that far. I mean, the U.S. hasn't put any soldiers in Ukraine. The NATO hasn't invaded Ukraine, so they haven't put no fly zones or nothing like that in Ukraine, and they said they're not. So that's a good thing. But the sanctions, that could be another thing, you know. But you know, some people said that, you know, I've heard that we're still bombing Somalia. I didn't even know that, you know, till recently. You know, we're still bombing Somalia. You know, we destabilized. You know, we've destabilized nations. You know, in the Middle East. You know, where we're still fucking up other countries. You know, in the Middle East and in Somalia. You know, we've destroyed Latin America, the U.S. You know, Central America, Mexico, and a lot of Colombia and a lot of countries. So, you know, this government is complicit of it. And, you know, that's basically all I really have to say. I mean, me personally, I'm trying to not be nervous about the situation or be scared. I've been there before. I mean, I've lived through, you know, I lived through the Cold War as a kid, the original Cold War. I've seen hella wars. I've seen 9/11. I've seen hella shit, bro. So I just look at this as a list of another crazy event I'm looking at unfold in the world. Hopefully I survive it and get to see another crazy event, you know what I mean? To put on my list, you know? Hopefully nothing bad happens. To me, I just can't, you know, I can't be scared and then let the government and let the media terrorize me for this situation. All I could do is hope for the best and just live my life. And you know, to me, it's just another day. You know what I mean? And that's really all I really have to say about that. You know what I mean? That's my take on the situation going on out there. I'm not letting fear consume me. I'm not letting, you know, I'm not letting none of that. And I don't support Putin and I don't support the U.S. You know, I think they're both full of shit. And I'm just surprised more people in the activist world, the anti-war world, aren't out there speaking out about it. You know? Do you think they should bring some troops? No, I don't think they should bring anybody to Ukraine. I think they should let Russia have that. That has nothing to do with us. That's my personal take on it. You know, I don't give a shit about any of those places. I don't think we should put the world in danger for some place that has nothing to do with us. But, you know, our politicians are fucking dumbasses. You know? But, yeah, man. If something bad happens someday here, gotta keep this channel going. Well, I mean, if we're dead and the fucking Bay Area is blown to smithereens, I'm not gonna be here to have a channel. Because actually, even if I survive that, you know what I mean? And then if I survive it, am I gonna survive nuclear fallout? That's the second thing of surviving. And then once the nuclear fallout passes, you still gotta survive whatever's after that, you know? So yeah, the world would not be the same. The world would not be the same overnight. Everything would change like that. Everything. You know, democracy. Yeah, just like we attacked countries. You know what I mean? We've overthrown. We've overthrown fucking democratically elected governments. And yeah, we do it with immunity. But yeah, man, that's really all I have to say about that. I don't want to stay on this topic through the whole thing, but I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents. And yeah, somebody said that history is repeating itself, and yeah, to many degrees it is. It's nothing new, unfortunately. And we as humans, and politicians and greedy capitalists and all that, you know, they let it happen, and they're making it. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. Is U.S. low key homies with the Ukraine? I guess so. You know what I mean? They're trying to put that. Isn't the U.S. the one that put the puppet government that's there? You know, but yeah, like I said, it's just a topic that I didn't want to talk the whole time about because it's already on the fucking news, and you know, I'm tired of hearing about it. Really, to be honest with you, it's starting to kind of like wear me out, like listening about it. I just. I know there were peace talks between Russia and Ukraine the other day, so who knows? You never know. What do you think while homies in trouble you join? Then what do you when your homies in trouble you join? Invades another country? I mean, if Russia invades another country, it's crazy, you know, because that depending on what country they invade, if they invade a NATO country, then man, it's that's gonna be detrimental, And yeah, war is a business. Capitalists use wars to, you know, capitalists use wars to make money. And the West is making money off this for sure. They're making a lot of money off this. So who knows, man? Who knows what's gonna happen? I guess only time will tell. You know, we'll see in the next few weeks what happens. Most likely, you know, most likely Ukraine is going to fall in the hands of Russia. I think, they're going to end up taking over. And I think that's what's going to happen. And then what's going to happen is this is probably my prediction of what's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be a nuclear war or nothing like that because I don't think anyone wants that smoke for reals. I think what's going to happen is Putin's going to take over Ukraine. The capital is going to fall in a few days. And that'll ensure that NATO is not going to cross into Ukraine. But what will happen is there's going to be guerrilla fighters that are going to be fighting against Russia. And we are going to support them. That's what's going to happen. I think that's my prediction of what's going to happen. And it's already happening now to a degree. I think Ukraine is going to fall. I think the president Zelensky or whatever his name is, I think he's gonna run out and he's gonna be saved by NATO, and they're just gonna let Russia take over. It's gonna happen, and what's gonna happen is, there's gonna be groups that are gonna be like anti-Russia, like guerrilla groups, and they're gonna be fighting against the Russian government, and it's gonna be like a little civil war. And and there's going to be, that's what's going to happen, and NATO is going to be supporting that fight, and I think that's what's going to really happen. I don't think nuclear war is going to happen. I doubt it. I hope not. That's the only thing everything else I could care less about, but as far as nuclear war, I hope not. I just don't see how that would benefit anyone. I just don't see how it would benefit anyone. I don't see how it would benefit Putin because Putin's country is going to be blown to smithereens, if he launches a nuclear weapon at anybody, and he might not even launch it at us, he might launch it at Europe because Europe is a lot closer. He could launch it at Ukraine. You know, someone's gonna shoot back from NATO, and that'll be the end of his country, and then it'll be the end of us too because he'll shoot at us before his country gets blown up. But then I'm just saying, what are they gonna get off all that? What are they gonna solve from that? They're gonna inherit a wasteland. You know, I just don't get it. Even if they're in underground bunkers, which is what they're gonna be in, I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong, but he's gonna hit Alaska. Maybe it's close to it's close to Russia. But I doubt any of that is gonna happen. I really don't want it to happen, and I don't think any of you want it to happen. Because if it does happen, you got to be realistic. Some media channels I watch, they said tomorrow's day 7. They talk about 7-day theory from some Bible prophecy. They don't care about the surface of the earth. Afghanistan bankrupt Russia. These Ukrainians are Dermot Morgine. Oh yeah, the Russia did invade Afghanistan in the 70s and 80s, right? And that's another thing we don't talk about. We're the ones that created the Taliban and all that because we're the ones that supported them with weapons. We're the ones that supported the at that time we were the ones supporting the no different than what we're doing now in Ukraine. We were supporting the fucking Muslims, or not the Muslims, but the fucking Taliban and all that, during that invasion. And we created the Taliban, the Mujahideen, what do they call the Mujahideen, Yeah, and the U.S. has been complicit. Like I said, we've been doing shady shit for many years. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, Some people say they don't care if the world gets blown up. They're ready to die. That's you, bro. I'm not ready to die yet over some bullshit that has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I want to keep on going. There's a lot of things I want to do. And I don't want to see, I don't want to see the world get destroyed over some bullshit that has nothing to do with us, really. But each to their own, man. I don't want that. I don't want that, I don't want that for the humanity, because that's gonna destroy us. That would destroy us. That would destroy the world. Even like the places that don't get bombed, it would severely affect them as well. Because like I said, I think there's a lot of places that won't get bombed and people will survive. I don't think humanity will be wiped out completely, but I would say definitely places like North America and Russia and Europe, yeah. A lot of people will be obliterated overnight, if something like that were to happen. But we'll see, man. I guess time will tell. We'll see in the next few days. If we're still here, then hey, But that, like I said, my prediction is that there's going to be an overthrow of Ukraine. Russia's going to take over Ukraine. There's going to be a anti-Russian type of movement in Ukraine. And, and we're going to support it. I think that's more realistically what's going to happen. Or Putin's going to tank and he's either going to launch a nuke or he's going to talk to us or talk to NATO diplomatically, We'll see. What if Russia invades the U.S.? You taking up arms? If they invade here, then we have no choice, I guess. I would back the Russians against Americans. Atomic bombs come out because they rebuild it better and stronger. Yeah, but everyone has guns in the hood. It will be wild in the U.S. Yeah, but I don't think Russia's gonna invade the U.S. But Russia's not backing down. Maybe, I don't know. They're not backing down from Ukraine. That for sure is not happening. Are they going to keep going from Ukraine? That's probably the big question. You know, But if they stop at Ukraine, then they're just going to take over Ukraine, and we'll see what happens after that. You know, there's either going to be a new Cold War or something. But that's what I think. Like I said, realistically, I think more or less that's what's going to happen. Is that there's going to be like I said, there's going to be an overthrow of Ukrainian government, and there's going to be a Russian government or some kind of Russian pro-led Russia government, and there's going to be an anti-Russia movement in Ukraine, like a revolution, and the U.S. is going to NATO is going to back it up with the U.S. So, and it's already, that's already happening, So that's just I think that's just my 2 cents on what's going to happen. The thing that's kind of good about it is it's the people in Russia, they don't support the war. There's been a lot of protest against the war, and nobody wants that. But a lot of people in Russia, it's not a popular war. It's not like the Russian people are like, oh, Putin. A lot of people don't want that war in Russia. A lot of soldiers supposedly don't want to fight that war. And even the rich of Russia are getting on Putin's ass because they're starting to feel the effects of it. So who knows, man? All I can say is time will tell, and just be alert, man, and just pray for the best and just hope we don't get obliterated, because the Bay Area, Los Angeles, wherever you're at, will be gone. But that's it. That's all I could really tell you. Hopefully you survive. Hopefully, if you do survive, you bring a smarter, better world than the fucking retarded world we come from, that obviously just wants to fight and do stupid shit and destroy each other, and But I heard I heard that Mexico wasn't putting sanctions against Russia, which is interesting. We'll see how that plays out. But López Obrador, the president of Mexico, claims that he's not going to put sanctions on Russia. Three mass-killing nuclear war. America's bigger problem than China. I mean, America, the problem with us is we're an empire, and we put our nose up everybody's business, and we get involved in everything. Like this situation, we shouldn't even be involved in this fucking situation. This is really, it's none of our business. And that's a problem with our government. And we're guilty of invading places too, and that's just a reality of it. And yeah, it's fucked up, but when I say we, are all of us, because we all live here, and yeah, it's our government too. Unfortunately, it's fucked up as that sound, but it's our government too, unfortunately, whether we like it or don't like it, But yeah, it's a crazy situation. Listen to Pastor Rocha. This is Armageddon. Well, I guess the Armageddon, and we're goners. We're not going to be here for the next live with Jay, I guess. From the founding onward. I mean, yeah, we've done a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona exists because we invaded Mexico and took it from them. So we've been doing this shit for years, for generations. It's nothing new, And that's it's just it is how to, yeah. American Cholo talked about it. Yeah, I seen him talk about it the other day. Multinational is way worse than what Russia's doing. Yeah, I mean, what I've talked about this so many times about what the United States has done in Latin America, but yet we bitch and cry when immigrants from Latin America come here. You know what I mean? But yet we've destabilized Latin America, you know, and we've destroyed Latin America. We've destroyed the economies of Latin America. We've overthrown governments there. We've armed their governments to kill each other. You know what I mean? We've done a lot of fucked up shit over there. This government has, you know. We killed the Native Americans to build this land. We enslaved Africans. We stole land from Mexico, etc., etc., and etc. Even one thing that don't get talked about, this government even treated its own white immigrants like shit early on. That's something that we don't know about. You know, at first they didn't like the Germans because you should read some of the stuff that they used to say about the early European immigrants. It was interesting because it sounded no different than what they say about Mexican or Central American immigrants today. You know, I read one about Germans. They used to say the Germans were going to change the culture. The Germans were going to bring German here, and it wasn't going to be an Anglo nation. Then when the Irish came, they said the Irish were Catholic. They were drunks. They were, they were criminals. They were no good. They were going to, destroy the culture. Then they went after the Italians. They went after, the Polish and other immigrants that came to the United States that were European whites. The Italians were the Woks, you know what I mean? The Dagos, and, they were like these backwards, Sicilians, all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like the U.S. has even done this to other Europeans, but because now, because it involves white people and Muslims. Yeah, of course, that's a good point. The reason everyone makes a big deal is because it's happening in Europe and it's happening close to NATO allies, and that's the only reason they're making a big deal about it, because they're white Europeans. Yeah, when we bomb Muslim countries, we bomb fucking destroy Latin America's infrastructure. No one says nothing. No one even cares, unfortunately. You know, but that's the United States, man. What can I say? What can I say? And again, our government has put us in a, has put us in another bad situation, which hopefully doesn't escalate to something detrimental. I hope not. I can only pray it doesn't, you know. I doubt it will, but you never know. You never know. But, I'm just being optimistic that it's not going to turn into nothing crazy, nothing that'll destroy all of us, because we're fucked. If it does happen, you're fucked. Not just me, unless you have a bomb shelter or something you could run to. But, when the bombs are falling, you're only going to have like 20 minutes to hide somewhere, or not be vaporized. That's the reality of it. But, why wouldn't it escalate? It could. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I don't see it escalating. I think it already escalated to a lot. I don't think we're going to go into an actual war with Russia. I doubt it. It's going to be more of a trade war. It's going to be more of a sending weapons to Ukraine war. It's going to be one of those kind of wars. I could already see that it's becoming one of those kind of wars. I don't think, if we didn't attack Russia during the Cold War, we're not going to attack it now. Trust me. It's already becoming what I'm already predicting is going to happen. It's already becoming like a new Cold War, where it's like economics, and stuff like that. And Russia could fuck us too, because Russia could cut off a lot of. I think Russia gives a lot of energy to Europe and to some other countries around that part of the world. And Russia hasn't cut it off yet, but they could cut off energy to those countries very easily. You know what I mean? And that could escalate. They haven't done it yet, so that's a good sign. But yeah, a lot of this has to do with money and oil and basically not nation empire building, you know. I know a country, jail, underground. If I hear it, I'm gonna catch a case and post up there. These sanctions are pissing Russia off. They're gonna try to get some kind of payback. Russia supplies the US with 7% of oil. Yeah, yeah, man. Well, like I said, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. I'm sure Russia already figured out ways of how to keep its money. But yeah, it is affecting its economy, and yeah, some could say that would be a declaration of war too, or at least an act of war. You know, but we'll see. We don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen. It's not something that you know. It's predictable. So I don't know. Boycott vodka. I don't know. I'm not against Russia. I'm not against anybody. I'm just like, I think this is all retarded. I think the U.S. has kind of put us in this situation. NATO has put us in this situation. So it's not entirely Russia's fault, but Russia does play a big part in it too. It's all, you know, it's all unfortunate because it's all empires and, empires that are nuclear that could easily destroy each other. And for what? For what? You know, for a toxic world, I guess, for a world that's not going to be worth anything. Because once you push that button, the world is not going to be worth anything. Your money, everything will be decimated overnight. Your power, everything. You know, but I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. I mean, if you think it's going to be a World War III nuclear war and we're all going to die, then you better start hugging your mom tonight, bro. You better start kissing your kids goodbye tonight because they're not going to be around very long if it's going to escalate to that. And you better start figuring out places where you're going to hide or where you're going to go under if you know any underground bunkers, you know. At one point, would I send in troops? I wouldn't send in troops. I wouldn't get involved in that if it was me because there wouldn't be no reason, wouldn't be no reason for us to be in that. Why do people go to work for what? For a piece of paper. They don't care about the surface. You get timing right when Trump left office. Yeah, I remember people used to say that Trump was going to start World War III, and it seems like it's happening under Sleepy Joe. But, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. It's looking weird, but you never know. Like I said, this is not the first time. What makes me optimistic is this is not the first time we've been in a crisis like this. And, you know, it was a verdict then. It could be a verdict now. Very easily. Very easily. You know. And, I don't think no one wants nuclear fallout or destruction of the world because that's not, like I said, that's not going to benefit them in any way whatsoever. I wouldn't see what they would be hopeful for after that. What would you be hopeful for? A toxic world, a blown up world, half of your population is gone, maybe all of your population is gone. Even if you survive in an underground bunker, like the people, like the leaders of those countries, what will they have? Nothing. Their money will be worthless, you know. And even when they come back to the surface, the people on the surface are going to want to fucking kill them for destroying their world, you know. People say they don't care about the surface, but I think they really do care about the surface because if they didn't, they would have blown it up a long time ago. Yeah, it's not different. Yeah, nuclear winter, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, it's it's only going to get worse. I mean, you know, either way, it's not going to be a good situation. It's not going to be a good next few months or years. Definitely it's going to start a new Cold War or something like that. But, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to let it scare me. I'm not going to worry about it. If it happens, then I guess it happens. We're done for. I'm just going to live my life. And, I'm not even going to continue talking about this subject every time because I'm tired of hearing about it, you know? So now, do you think we should spend more on military spending? That's how planets get decimated. War. That's what happened in Mars. According to ancient texts, Russia got a 5 mile convoy going to Ukraine. Yeah, it could be a proxy war too. I was thinking that too. You never know. You know, but I mean, we already to Don Suave. We already have military spending on a lot of things. It's no different. You know what I mean? We have so many problems here at home. You know what I mean? That we could be taking care of: homelessness, gentrification, inflation. People being kicked out of their houses, jobs being destroyed. All that stuff. So I like to say it hasn't been a good 2020s. You know, it hasn't been good to the world. It's been a fucking weird, like a twilight zone. You know what I mean? 2020. COVID. You know, homelessness everywhere, poverty everywhere, crime out of control. You know, a possible third world war. Like fuck. Like I said earlier, what's next? Is there gonna be an alien invasion tomorrow? Are fucking Martians gonna come, or aliens from another planet gonna come attacking us? Supposedly, I heard that if the world is ever at the brink of a nuclear war, that the aliens are gonna come here and attack. So they're gonna stop it from happening. So hey, aliens, if you're up there, maybe we need you now. But yeah, man, the problems can be fixed, but the people are waiting for the gun fixer when they can take an initiative. Yeah, man. So I don't know. It's a crazy situation, and I don't know. I look at it like it's just gonna be another situation that I'm gonna be able to write about. You know, in the future. Like I remember when the world was almost gonna be going to a third world war. you know, but we'll see. But anyway, on another topic, you know what I mean? Did you guys hear about in Sacramento what happened? Man, it's pretty tragic. Uh, uh, I guess a father was on some kind of visit with his kids, and he killed what, three or four of his kids, and then killed himself. You know, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Should spend much on military spending. I see you might get caught lacking. I've been abducted by them, but they didn't probe me to hell though. Hell nah. But yeah. Did you guys hear about that though? That was fucked up, man. It's tragic, man. Tragic. Another crazy death. You know what I mean? But yeah, that happened in Sacramento yesterday at a church, out of all places. A father killed four of his kids, I want to say, and then he killed himself. That happened in North Sacramento. But oh, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about that. You know, yeah, the church shooting in Sacramento. That was bad, bro. That was really bad. That's fucked up. But yeah, it's just a crazy situation. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm getting like I want to sneeze. But the alien wanted to study my brain. I never met aliens. Oh yeah, I heard about Cain Velasquez. What happened to him? I haven't had a chance to read what happened to him. Does anybody have a story of what happened? I heard about it. But a father stabbed his teacher to death 5 houses down from mine. Man, that's crazy, man. But what happened to Cain Velasquez? Oh, he shot at Chomo. I got to read about it. I haven't read about it. I heard about it, but I haven't read or seen anything about it yet. I haven't had a chance. I was a little busy today. And their minions. But yeah, man. But other than that, how's everybody been, man? How's everybody been doing? Hopefully you guys have been having a good day. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying your day. And you know, making your money and going out and doing what you gotta do. Because you gotta be, even if these times are bad, you always gotta be positive, man. It's It's a negative time for sure. It's a depressing time, you know. And for a minute I was a little nervous about all this situation, but I'm starting to get less and less nervous about it. And I'm just looking at it more like this is just history repeating itself, Jose, because you know so much about history. You already know this is fucking history repeating itself. And it's not going to go anywhere good, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere destructive. You know what I mean? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but hopefully I'm right on this one. And I'm just, I'm at peace with myself, and I'm just gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna continue playing my music and doing my live with Jays, and not being obsessive over this situation. But I feel because I do know a lot about history and politics that yeah, I wanted to make a live with Jay about this situation. It would make sense for me to do so. You know what I mean? And I'm just, I'm not gonna let the media or the government or Russia or anybody terrorize me. And if they're gonna fucking blow us up, then I guess it's gonna happen. Hopefully not, but you know, I'm gonna uh I'm gonna just live my life and enjoy my life until, I'm not here anymore. Campbell lost a shot a man with molesting his relative. He had supervised visits with his kids at the church, and the pastor was the mediator. He was hella mad at the mom. She wasn't even visiting. He killed the pastor. Oh, okay, so it's one of those kind of situations. I get you. Hey, it's not to be a dick, and I'm not excusing what he did, but some of these laws that they put against fathers and dads, man, they're kind of fucked up. Some of them are. You know what I mean? I don't know the guy's history, and I'm not excusing what he did, but some of the what's the child support laws and some other stuff, it'd be a little too much sometimes, and I could see where it drives some people crazy. And I think there has to be something to somewhere down the line. Someone has to investigate that to prevent these kind of things from happening, because sometimes these things can be prevented. You know, but I don't know. I don't know too much about the situation, but that's tragic that he killed his kids. What's the difference between legal and lawful? I'm not sure. Good question. I'm not exactly sure. If you know what it's the difference, let me know. But yeah, man, it's just like everywhere you turn, it's something bad. But the media always does this. Everything is always bad all the time. You feel me? And like I said, but you can't be you can't be scared or afraid of everything. Like I said, I'm just staying positive and optimistic of the future, and I'm not gonna let it get to me. I just hope nothing bad happens, because I don't think none of us really want that. We could talk all the shit we want, but none of us really want a situation where we're gonna be obliterated, bro. I'm pretty sure most of you on here don't want that, you know, or where your family will be obliterated. Even if you survive, remember, most of your family might be gone, you know. So I'm just living my life and just praying for the best and hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, man. So what's up with everybody, man? What are you guys talking about? Kitten support, $1 million mouthpiece. That's true. If you watch the news all the time, it scares you. Yeah, like for a few days, I was watching a lot about the Russia situation, and it was making me a little nervous reading about it, like kind of bringing up my anxieties. And I was like, nah, I can't read this shit, man. And I had to stop it. I read what I wanted to read and had to read to understand the situation to make this video. But other than that, I read about it from time to time, but it's not something that I'm gonna be on the lookout every single day, every single hour. Now, fuck that. You know. Well, yeah, if I'm gone, I'm gone. You know what I mean? But what's up, Kelly Savalas? But that's all it is. I just, But the problem is, it's not about us. It's about the whole world. It's about millions and billions of human beings. You know. Remember that it's not about us. It's about everybody. You know. You've been watching nonstop. I mean, I watch it from time to time, but I don't watch it at every minute, every second. You know what I mean? There was something funny if you look up. You could look it up. I don't know if you guys ever watched Jimmy Dore's show, but there was something funny where the day, I think it was either the day or the day after uh, uh, Russia invaded Ukraine, on CNN they had like they were showing like look it up too. They were showing a like, I guess, downtown Kiev, which is the capital of you know, which is the capital of Ukraine, and basically they were showing like it looked like the end of the world. It was like they were showing like downtown, and it was like the alarms going, the air raid alarms or whatever. And then next thing you know, they cut to this funny ass like Applebee's commercial. Look it up. Look up Applebee's commercial Ukraine or something like that. You'll laugh. That shit was hella funny. That shit made me laugh. Los Vallenatos about to stop the war. Hey, art, musicians sometimes help. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know. You know what slowed down the Cold War was the making of a movie called The Day After. You know, it was a movie made in 1983 or 82, and it was about the U.S. being bombed in a nuclear war and the after effects of that. And actually, the leaders of Russia seen that movie and it scared them, and that was one of the reasons why peace talks came about. You know, and maybe Putin should watch that movie. you know, yeah, press the like button if you guys are joining in. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to just show you guys that I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I was just a little busy the last few days. Like I said, I've been on my grind actually, so I haven't really had a chance to be on here um, the last few nights. And then the other night when I was working, it was a little bit kind of busy in there, so I couldn't go live at night at work like I normally do because it was just a little like busy that night. So one of the nights I was there, so it was already hella late. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go live. So, but I'm here. You guys see I'm here today, and yeah, man. Someone said World War III brought you Poito con Papa. Gas is up, inflation is up, COVID killing. Hopefully 2023 will be better. Jay was in the bunker. Shit, I don't have a bunker. I wish, but yeah, gas is up. Everything's up. There's inflation everywhere. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. Oh, on Thursday, let me hold on. Let me get it up here. Want to let you guys know. On Thursday, let me make sure it's Thursday, but I'll tell you guys right now. Hold on. Give me one quick second. So this Thursday, yeah, 3:23. No, tomorrow, isn't it? Well, hold on. Let me double check. Is it tomorrow? No, it's Thursday. I'm sorry. On Thursday, I'm gonna be on a show called the Raza Stand Podcast on IG live. So that's gonna be at 8 p.m. Look up Raza Stand Podcast. You know what I mean? Give them a like, follow them. The homie on there, Raza Stand Podcast. He's a pretty good, dope dude. He's out in Southern California. So he's going to be interviewing me, the history of why I did Oakland Latinos United, and all the good stuff about what I'm about and why do I do what I do. So look up Raza Stand Podcast this Thursday, March 3rd at 8 p.m. I'll be live on IG, on Instagram. So be sure to come on there on Instagram, let your friends know, and let them know that could come and listen. I was one of the first Chicanos online. Someone said drop the Cash App. All right, why not? Shit, hold on. So if anybody wants to donate to Jose, there's a link to my Cash App. Any little donation you want to give, you know what I mean? Leave it right there, and you know, help a brother out. Help a brother out during World War III. but But yeah, man. So what's up with everybody, man? What's everybody talking about out there? What's good besides wars and fucking people getting killed and nonsense? What's good with everybody? How's everybody been doing? How you guys been listening to some of the other podcasts on here? Some of these I listen to some of the other ones like Smitty. He's been going live again. I've been listening to Rojo obviously goes live damn near every night. Dankin and Drankin, those homies from Modesto, that homie Bean, I've been listening to his sometimes. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun to listen to because some of them go late night, and I'm more of a late night person myself. So it's even at work, like when I'm at work because I work overnight for now. It's kind of it's cool to have something to watch and just bullshit while I'm at work. So I don't know if you guys watch those, but if you haven't, they're pretty funny. Smitty's always funny, Mr. Know-It-All. He's the jack of all trades, and the homies Bean and them on Dankin and Drankin, And I've been watching other stuff too, so yeah, those channels are pretty funny. So yeah, man. So how'd you guys like today's live with Jay? I wanted to talk about the situation with the war. You know what I mean? Can't say I'm going to talk about it forever. Maybe next time I do a live with Jay, it'll be something else. But definitely wanted to talk about it right now because it is a big topic, and I feel people should at least, bring it up. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Italian Stallion? I'm good, brother. We're talking a little bit about the Ukraine war. Everyone says it's World War III or whatever, but we'll see. But yeah, if anyone wants to support, there's a Cash App. You know what I mean? And once again, like I said, this Thursday at 8 p.m., we're going to be having an interview with Raza Stan Podcast in IG. You know what I mean? Raza Stan Podcast this Thursday at 8 p.m. So be on the lookout. Go to Raza Stan Podcast and follow him. And be on the lookout this Thursday at 8 p.m. And, if you don't watch it, he'll have it there. You know what I mean? This is basic the situation. Yes, it is World War III. Germany and Austria are supplying armor to Ukraine defense alongside 12 other Ukraine nations. I mean, yeah. I was saying earlier, Nezzy, Russia stands alone. We're standing idly by because of Joe Dementia Biden. Probably similar to World War II, like when we came in late. Maybe. What I was saying, I think is going to happen, and that's what I said earlier. I don't think there's going to be a nuclear war, nothing like that. I mean, I don't think so, and I hope not. But I think what's going to happen is Russia's going to take over Ukraine. Ukrainian government's going to fall within the next few days, or at least few weeks, maybe next month. Maybe by this month for sure. I think it'll fall. And what's going to happen is there's going to be like a new Cold War, and there's going to be like a quote unquote guerrilla movement against Russia in Ukraine, and NATO and the US is going to support it. That's what's going to happen. That's going to be, that's what's going to happen. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. I could already see it happening because it's happened so much in the past. I think that's what's going to happen. That's just my prediction. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a nuclear war, but I think definitely going to be a war of sanctions and power. And we'll play an economic middle until it grows to mass proportion. Then we'll bomb. Yeah, that could happen. You know what I mean? But the only reason we're not touching Russia is because of the nuclear situation. And that wouldn't be good. That'll be detrimental, like I said earlier, to everybody. So I don't think, because, I mean, they already said they're not going to put ground troops in Ukraine, and they're not going to put no-fly zones in Ukraine, NATO, England, the U.S., because that would start a war with Russia, and that would go into a nuclear-type situation. Or at least it could be the potential of one. It won't guarantee that's going to happen. It might be conventional for a minute, but eventually Russia will be like, fuck it, you know. But no, you know, no one's really attacking Russia yet. They are attacking them in the pocketbooks with the sanctions, which could be seen as a declaration. You know what I mean? Um, and you know, um, we'll see, bro. Only time will tell. Like I said, time will tell, and we'll see what happens. You know. No, I have a Cash App. I don't have PayPal right now. But yeah, if anybody wants to donate to Jose, be sure to join, support the Cash App. You can donate any little thing to help us out. But Biden faces turning approval nationwide lower than Trump. Pressure is mounting to do more on the issue of economic sanctions, not to mention this opening gateway to China invading Taiwan. Yeah, heard those arguments too, bro. You know, but really, we can't push this more. You know, and unlike Russia, we have 10 more to ignore Chinese incurred. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just hope it. I just hope it doesn't get pushed into a nuclear situation. I could handle everything else, but a nuclear situation, that would be bad. That would be detrimental. You know, I would think that it won't get to that point, but it could. It could escalate to that point real easily. It already kind of has a little bit. You know, Russia said that he's putting. Putin said he's putting his nuclear missiles on alert or whatever. And I'm pretty sure we're on alert too. I wouldn't see why we're not. But we'll see. Only time will tell. But that it's a good situation, no, it's not a good situation. And it's unpredictable what's going to happen. Definitely there's already a war of trade and goods and money and all this shit, of oil and all this stuff, you know. But what's up, Scaro Blaster? But we'll see, man. As we're seeing now, yeah, it's already a war of words and sanctions. And, the only thing Russia hasn't done yet is cut off oil to other countries and power to other countries. I think Russia supplies a lot of Europe, actually, so they haven't done that yet. I don't think, but we'll see. Very similar to World War I, but I think our entry military-wise will come similar to World War II, laying the game after many Russian Belarus would have a tag team match against U.S. and Ukraine. Yeah, Belarus is a big ally of Putin too, But, again, my 2 cents on it, I don't give a shit about Ukraine. I don't see what the fuck is the point of us being there and all that, starting all this drama. But then at the same time, we do the same shit. The U.S., our government, invades places for no reason, like Iraq and Afghanistan, and we're bombing Somalia as we speak. You know what I mean? We're still in the Middle East, bombing places like Syria. That's why our entering towards is always such a high value item. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think, I don't know. I don't see it becoming a fight with Russia, you know, a fight with Russia. I don't see, if they were going to do that, they would have already put ground troops and put no-fly zones on Ukraine. If it was going to get to that level, I don't think it's going to be Soviet Union. I think it's going to be more like a new. It's going to, because it's not Soviet Union. It's nothing like the Soviet Union because they're not a communist country. At best, they're maybe a democratic socialist country, but Russia's for the most part a capitalist country. He is ex-KGB, but I don't think he's gonna. If he was gonna re-implement something like the Soviets, I think he would have did it already. His own memories stay. He wants to rise to its former glory. Good luck with that. That means he would have to get rid of the oligarchs and all that, because that means that you don't have rich or poor if you have a communist country, But we'll see. We'll see where it's going to go. We'll see where this situation is going to go. I think for the most part, NATO has kind of left, Ukraine to dry and fend for itself. And you know, and you know, Russia is gonna it's Russia's gonna Ukraine's gonna fall to Russian hands. That's for sure gonna happen. I already know that's what's gonna happen. And then this is where the new Cold War is gonna start, because then it's gonna be, you know, what should we do? You know what I mean? Exactly. Starting a new Berlin Wall type of situation, where Ukraine is going to be the cutoff to the rest of the world from Russia, you know. But who knows? You never know. Maybe Putin might, you know. I think World War III is about to get a lot worse. We'll see, man. We'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, proxy war wise, yeah. I mean, they're already trying to scare us in submission. Like I said, I was reading a lot about this, and it just started scaring me. So I was like, you know what? I can't read about this 24/7. So I kind of stopped it. And like I said, you know, I'm just living my life because there's nothing I can really do about it. You know, and you know, unfortunately, a lot of the people that are anti-war aren't saying nothing about it, which is kind of weird. You know, I think people in Russia, I heard it's not a popular war, that people are against it. They're against Putin, actually. There have been a lot of anti-war protests in Russia. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. For sure, it's going to be a proxy war, a war of words, a war of sanctions, and shit like that. It's going to be a minute before it escalates to something else, if it does. But it's definitely going to start a new Cold War of some sort, you know. And that's already kind of happening. So, you know. Well, so what do you think about Latinos joining the military? I mean, if they want to join it, they want to join it. It's up to them, bro. You know. You know, I probably at one point in my life I would have been like, nah, you know, I don't know if they should join, you know, but I don't know. You know, I can't tell people what to do. They have rebel lines and factions. Who, the U.S. or Russia? The U.S. for sure. There's gonna be a rebel thing in Russia and in Ukraine that's gonna be anti-Putin, and NATO's gonna back it, guaranteed. That's all that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a new Cold War, just no different than the Cold War in the past. Like countries that were anti-Russia, like Afghanistan, we supported the Mujahideen, which was the origins of the fucking Taliban. You know what I mean? Have rebel alliance and factions. Oh, proxy war. Okay, yeah. But yeah, man. So what's up with everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully everything's cool. Looks like I'm getting a bad connection. Looks like I'm getting a bad connection on here. Can you guys hear me or see me? Looks like my internet's kind of running low. But anyway, where's everybody at? How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Wish you could still hear you. Yeah, my internet's acting weird. Hold on. Military, no regret. Joining, they have overseas. There we go. I don't know. My internet was being weird. But, you know, someone said, what do I think about Latinos ex-Putin? Yeah, maybe he's declaring the cyber war on us. You know what I mean? They do say that Russia has a lot of cyber hackers or whatever. Maybe, who knows? Putin doesn't like me. Oh yeah, if nuclear fallout, wear a mask. I mean, yeah, you might need to wear a mask if nuclear fallout. You know, you're a Russian but that would probably be the smart time to wear a mask if you could have a mask that'll survive. Because shit, you got to cover your nose from whatever's out in the fucking air after that. Or not a gas. You probably need some kind of gas mask or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But all right, y'all. I'm about to get off this. You know, I just want to come on here and talk about the situation. Be sure to look out. Like I said, this Thursday on Raza Stand Podcast. That would be March 3rd on IG. Remember, Raza Stand Podcast at 8 p.m. I will be interviewed by homeboy that runs that network or that channel. We're going to talk about the history of Oakland Latinos United, why we do it, why I do it, and my contribution to YouTube Chicano history, because I was one of the first Chicanos Raza online. And, I always have an interesting perspective on things, my thing isn't always about gangs or war stories or stuff like that. And hey, no disrespect to anyone who their platform's about that. Hey, you do what you got to do. But my platform's about different subjects, different issues. And, like right now we're talking about Russia. Next week we'll be talking about something else. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout for that interview. And onto Smitty's page now. It's popping. But yeah, man, I'm about to get off. I'll probably go over there to Smitty's page. Sadly, that guy gets a lot of trolls on his page. But yeah, this is so sick. You guys take care, man. And go check out Smitty's Kyle. He always goes live at night. He's hella funny. Once again, if you want to donate to my channel, here's a link to the Cash App. Any little thing you want to donate. You know what I mean? Hopefully, we're all alive next week. Hopefully, no nuclear wars happen. Hopefully, this doesn't escalate to something more dangerous. We'll see. Only time will tell, I guess. And, if it does, then I guess it was nice knowing you. You feel me? But Smitty, he's a dude that used to come on Comics Perspective lives all the time. You look up Smitty Kyle's. Or Kyle Smitty, I believe. His channel. He's always on live. He does his lives at night. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Take care. And don't let this shit scare you, man. Just live your life and keep moving. Raza forward. All right, late.